Hello, I'm Sister Charity, and joining me is my co-host, John Sales.
At your service.
And we want to welcome you to another episode of Our Perspective. And of course, we want to encourage you to like and share. You know what it does. So today in our discussion, I'm going to share my perspective on what's going on with the whole Shanquella issue, the untimely death of that beautiful 25-year-old whose services were held today, which is Saturday, the 20th of November. And my condolences, my heart goes out to the family. I tell you, I got up this morning during my prayer time and just cried out for that father. I don't know if you saw the interview on Facebook with the North Carolina Beat. I believe that's the name of the Facebook address, was the North Carolina Beat, something to that effect. But he was interviewing the dad, and the dad, what a mighty strong man that is just standing on the promises of God. And it just touched my heart. I don't think I cried that much for anybody I didn't know like I cried out for the dad. So again, my condolences to the family. And I'm not going to necessarily talk from the place that everybody else. I want to talk about the real issue, and that is, should those who were an accessory, should they be charged because they didn't speak up? They didn't do anything. And I feel, my perspective is, people who sit around and record when somebody is being hurt, abused, misused, and they don't step in, I have a problem with that. I mean, why record it? I mean, you're trying to get likes on the fact that somebody else is being hurt. What? And I'm not saying that happened with this case, because I know there's every case is different. But my perspective is, in some cases, people need to be charged when they video a crime and they don't do anything to help. And I don't know, John, what your perspective is, but that's mine.
Okay. I know this is where I can come in abuse because of my street vernacular and the fact that you think that this person was recording a scene to get clout. The scene itself was to get clout. Any means necessary to get 100 million views on something. This is more like a porn of sorts, because that act there is masochistic and it's more like a snuff film. I don't know if you've ever seen 8mm, but you could Google it, and it's a modern day snuff film. That's why they lured her to Mexico, where the laws are just, if you got enough money, you can say somebody did something they didn't do. Well, I'm allegedly, in my opinion. Okay.
Well, I don't know if you are aware, but there's $10,000 that she had to acknowledge upon entry into Mexico. She had to sign a document that said, I have $10,000 on me. And that $10,000 just so happened to have disappeared. And so I don't know if you are aware of that, but some people were kind of alluding to the Mexican, authorities may have been paid off to go along with the story. The story was just, to come and talk to that young lady's mother and tell her mother the lies that they told. And it wasn't just one person saying it. It was a couple of different individuals that really knew what happened. And I just have to say this. Fighting somebody that's butt naked, that's just straight evil. fighting somebody that's not fighting back, that's extra evil. And then killing them and leaving them, that just takes the cake. So this case, I just don't know what to say. I am lost for words. All I know is that when people do things like this and they're a part of it, they need to be held accountable. The highest extent of the law is my perspective.
Mm-hmm. I'm still on the thought that it was porn for the masses because you can't stage it anymore. Like you couldn't act that out. It has to be real in order for it to make the money to get to the bag.
Wow.
And I don't know how many people have a private copy of that and they sell it to people with those who are evil minded and like that kind of thing. It reminds me of something our aunt told me a long time ago about be careful of lust. The things you lust for can bring evil into your life. It brings that into your energy, evil. You know, the more things that you do out of the norm. I know you've been married your whole life, but I've tried different things, and the more things I've tried, the less I like normal stuff. You know what I mean? Like normal to me is boring. Missionary is boring. And the more it's like anything else you take it, sex is a drug too. Anything that mess with your endorphins is a drug. So these people are doing these things in Mexico. How many times has it been done? We don't even know. This one we know about.
You know, I hadn't, my mind didn't even go there. And I'm glad you brought up this perspective. So let me make sure I understand what you're saying. Okay. You're saying that there's a new kind of porn, for lack of a better way of putting it, where people are interested now in two women fighting and naked and all of this kind of stuff. Is that somewhat of what you're saying? And that's what you believe it was? They were filming this to get likes and it just went too far? Is that what you're saying? Possibly?
That's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is why the nudity? Why was she unclothed and the other one was in sex clothes? And supposedly, now this is what I hear, the one doing the beating is trans. So this is a snuff. A snuff film is where the person is killed in the act of sex or something sexual, and the other party is murdered on live. Like the more realistic it is, the more money you get, or the more people watch it. There's a lot of crazy people into a lot of crazy things.
Wow. And so I know everybody is saying, be careful who you say is your friends. There's so many people that's pretending, so many evil people that's pretending. Give an example. There was a lady at the casinos, and here in Las Vegas, they are scouting out young women for the sex scene. Okay, either to make them prostitutes, sex traffic, or whatever the case. And there was a young lady who appeared to have like a baby bump, going into the women's bathroom and talking, about she has jobs that's available and, trying to lure these young ladies. And it just so happened one of the young ladies saw her like months ago and saw her at a different restroom off the strip. And she still had that little fake baby bump, trying to appear to be like a innocent woman. We just have to be careful and stop believing everything people say, man. And listen to the Holy Spirit in you. Some people call it intuition, but for Christians, the Holy Spirit is trying to warn us. Listen, because something probably told her, don't go with those people. Get change your mind, don't do it. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just saying sometimes we are warned, and when we don't listen, that kind of stuff happens.
Exactly. I'm sorry, I had a call come through. Um, what I would say to that is, uh, we always sound like the fun police. Like some of this stuff you shouldn't be doing at all. If a trip sounds too good to be true, then it is too good to be true. If somebody is offering you something out of the norm, and first of all, we got to be friends for about 10 years before, I got to be knowing you a long time. Like, well, not when I was young, as far as meeting another lady or something, but as far as me calling somebody a friend, uh, they just do things like love is thrown around, friendship is thrown around. You ain't ate out the same pot. If you ain't grown up with a mom, ate out the same pot, your mama know they mom. I'm talking about them, the real friends, people you went to school with, and you had a chance to see them kill a dog or maim something or do evil stuff. You ain't fixing to trust them with nothing.
And
But
the thing about it is, one of the guys was her best friend for, you know, 5 years or something like that. And one of the girls was, allegedly friends with her. Uh, yeah. So it's
allegedly, though,
yeah,
and
all
when
of them
we
was
raise
alleged. All
when
of them
we
was alleged.
our kids up, which I'm sure everybody raised their kids up the same kind of way. Like, don't go with, let me know who you messing with. Bring them over here so I can get a vibe from them. Introduce them to me. My daughter had to learn the hard way when she had friends that so-called friends, but they was really hood chicks that was mad at her because she had a mother and a father, and they didn't. They mother didn't care what they daughters out walking around, don't know where they at, don't care as long as they get from around them. Our kids wasn't like that. Like, I love you. You don't have to get from around me. I'm not fixing to send you in the street. You know what I mean? So our kids need to know these people when they come, because sometimes they have ill intent and they hooked up with some dude. She ended up getting done. She ended up getting her wallet stolen. And I'm like, stop calling everybody friends. They not your friends. People are jealous. There's a lot of sick individuals around. We have this sickness, and I keep harping on it again. It's social media, period. That's the sickness. They'll do anything, including tell on themselves. I'm pretty sure when they bring these people to trial, they'll say, why was you doing this right here? And how could she have had alcohol poisoning, you beating the crap out of her, and she's not defending herself? That's because they drugged her. She couldn't defend herself. Because you would have tried to escape or something. You're going to try to escape. Well, it's going to make it not look authentic to just succumb into whatever masochistic stuff they was doing in there.
Yeah, that's a good point to look at it. We don't really know what exactly happened, but we do know the autopsy indicated that there was no alcohol. And I don't know if it was any, other substance, but the bottom line is, and I hope our listeners and viewers are really hearing the warning, is that just because a person says that they're your friend. And from what I understand, I think she may have paid or assisted them getting to Cabo, Mexico. But, don't be desperate for friends, and be careful who you connect yourself with. Because like you said, jealousy, envy, hatred, animosity, all of those things are real issues, real spirits that people are walking in every day. That jealousy is a monster, from what I understand. So I don't know what the whole issue was, but I like your perspective. You never know. It could have been something like that. Real quick, they said that the young lady Shanquella was gone live, I think, on Facebook, and she was looking for everybody in the place, in the villa, and she was recording, like, where's everybody? And they were all in a room with outside of her. you know. And you can tell, you know, when something ain't right and when somebody is like fading you, you know what I'm saying? They
Well,
the energy changes when you come into the room.
well, the thing of it is, there's a lot of people going to be more weary now because it went viral. But at the same time, they left the country to go do this thing, and the intent was always there. Uh, they still do stuff. They've been doing this stuff for a long time. Snuff films. Just Google 8 millimeter. Go and watch 8 millimeter. I think I can't remember the actor that's in there. Cage, Nicolas Cage is in
I remember that movie, but I don't remember the movie. I
it.
remember the name.
It was about snuff porn. It was
Okay.
killing somebody in a sexual act, and they had a lot of fake and phonies, but they was trying to investigate where a real girl got killed, and a real rich dude had the film of it.
Okay.
it
So let's do this. Because I do want to get into individuals that's filming. Are they should they be held as an accessory? So let's do this. Let's wrap up this show and then we'll come back with part two of this same topic and then talk about the flip side, and that is the recording of this video. So thank you so much for watching our perspective. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode, part two of this episode. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel and like our channel and ring the notification bell because we upload our videos every Monday. So thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again on another Our Perspective. Bye-bye.
Peace. God love you.